We're entering into service more and more XLRs. We're ramping up the production. We have a very strong backlog of XLRs, and I think you will see more coming on the 320 family, the very successful A320 family, including mostly on the A321, but also on the A321 XLR.
Our next story brings us to the cutting edge of aviation, where innovation takes flight, literally. At the center of this transformation stands Airbus, the world's leading aircraft manufacturer, boldly reshaping the skies with groundbreaking advancements in wing technology and aircraft design.
Back in 1978, where you would hardly ever see an Airbus airplane in the US, to now having well over 50% of the market here in the US.
While Boeing continues to grapple with a series of persistent challenges, Airbus is making waves in the aviation world with reports that it may be preparing a strategic power move against its top American competitor. Insiders reveal that Airbus is quietly developing a new aircraft, reportedly named the A390, built upon the foundation of the iconic A380. This next-generation jet is rumored to be designed to go head-to-head with Boeing's 77X. It wasn't the most electrifying start to the 2025 Paris Air Show, often referred to as the Super Bowl of aerospace. But what unfolded next sent shockwaves through the entire industry. What was expected to be a competitive, global showcase turned into a one-sided triumph. Airbus walked away with everything.
Airbus was already winning the race before the MAX ran into trouble because the A321 in general was winning share.
$21 billion in new contracts for 780 aircraft. Boeing, the once undisputed titan of the skies, left empty-handed. Not a single major deal. The silence from Boeing's corner echoed louder than any announcement. For the first time in decades, Boeing wasn't even in the race. And the Paris Air Show wasn't a fluke. It was a flashing red signpost confirming what insiders had feared. The world of commercial aviation is moving on, and it's leaving Boeing behind. According to Deutsche Bank, Boeing could lose up to 62% of the global narrow-body market. That's not a slow leak, that's a collapse. In a sector Boeing once ruled, it's now bleeding territory to Airbus and its revolutionary A320neo and A321 XLR families. Why? Because these aircraft are modern marvels, lighter, cleaner, more efficient, and most importantly delivered on time. Boeing's downfall didn't begin in Paris, it began in tragedy. Between 2018 and 2019, two Boeing 737 MAX jets crashed, Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, killing 346 people. Investigations pointed to a flawed MCAS flight control system that Boeing failed to fully disclose. Pilots weren't trained on it. Manuals barely mentioned it. The result? A global grounding of the MAX fleet and a crisis that lasted 19 months. Deliveries were halted, certifications were stripped, confidence was shattered. But perhaps the most damaging element was Boeing's silence. Internal documents revealed a company more focused on profit margins than pilot safety, more concerned with Wall Street than with cockpit clarity, and the problems didn't stop there. Boeing's wide-body darling, the 787 Dreamliner, has repeatedly faced production halts due to structural defects, door plug malfunctions, and misaligned panels. The delays stretched for months, frustrating carriers. Then there's the 777X, the aircraft once touted as Boeing's long-haul savior. It has missed every major milestone, with deliveries now pushed beyond 2027. Confidence from customers is eroding fast. Even the 737 MAX 10, Boeing's would-be answer to Airbus's A321 XLR, is stuck in limbo. It remains uncertified, can't fly critical routes, and worse still, it can't match Airbus in range or emissions performance. This isn't just a rough patch, it's an existential crisis. The A321 XLR, a narrow-body aircraft that performs like a wide-body, has become the aircraft of the decade. With a nearly 4,700 nautical mile range and 30% lower fuel burn per seat, it offers unbeatable efficiency. Over 500 orders have flooded in from airlines like American, JetBlue, Indigo, and Qantas. Then there's the A350, the long-haul juggernaut built from 53% carbon fiber composites, lighter, stronger, and more fuel-efficient than anything Boeing currently manufactures. Its Rolls-Royce Trent XUB engines are SAF certified and designed with future fuels in mind. These aircraft aren't just good, they're essential. As of May 31st, 2025, Airbus had delivered 243 aircraft, Boeing just 220. And while these numbers might seem close, the trajectories aren't. Airbus is expanding, ramping up production in Toulouse, Hamburg, and even Mobile, Alabama. Boeing, meanwhile, is tangled in a web of supply chain issues, FAA audits, and lawsuits from whistleblowers. It's not just struggling, it's unraveling. Longtime Boeing loyalist Emirates is slashing its 77X orders and pivoting to Airbus's A350 and A380. Turkish Airlines is doing the same. Air India, once up for grabs, has gone all in with Airbus, placing a massive mixed fleet order. Even KLM, long intertwined with Boeing, is making the switch. Its future now revolves around the A320neo and A350. The message: this is not about history. This is about now. Under the EU's emissions trading scheme, flying older, dirtier aircraft means steeper taxes and reduced access to key airport slots. Airbus's jets, especially the A321 XLR and A350, are greener and therefore cheaper to operate. Boeing's aircraft simply can't compete on emissions efficiency. And with sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, mandates tightening globally, airlines are placing their bets on the aircraft that meet today's standards, not ones that might qualify by 2032. This isn't a gamble, it's a necessity, and therein lies Boeing's fatal flaw: timing. In 2025, being good enough later isn't good enough now. Qantas knew that. When it launched Project Sunrise, ultra-long-haul flights like Sydney to London, it chose Airbus. Boeing couldn't deliver the aircraft. Airbus could. Even US carriers are hedging their bets. Delta is splitting orders. JetBlue is Airbus heavy. United, once Boeing's most vocal cheerleader, is now quietly diversifying its fleet. Why? Because no one wants to be left exposed when compliance rules tighten and delivery timelines slip. Airbus isn't just building planes, it's offering insurance. And the airlines are buying. This isn't just about hardware, it's about perception. A 2024 consumer survey revealed a staggering insight. Over 40% of passengers now check the type of aircraft before booking. Of those, nearly 60% prefer to avoid the Boeing 737 MAX. That's not a niche concern, that's a mainstream movement, and it's hurting Boeing at the gate. Inside the company, the culture is just as turbulent. Whistleblower complaints are on the rise. Employees report being pressured to ignore quality issues, rush deliveries, and sidestep inspections. Regulators are tightening the screws. The FAA has increased surprise audits. European agencies are demanding independent certifications. Boeing isn't just under oversight, it's under suspicion. Even when things go right, they go wrong. In June, a brand new Boeing 737 delivered to a US regional airline suffered a major hydraulic failure on just its third flight. No crash, no casualties. But the headlines wrote themselves: another Boeing jet under investigation. That's what brand erosion looks like. Not one catastrophe, but 1,000 tiny doubts. And in aviation, doubt is fatal. The Airbus advantage. While Boeing scrambles, Airbus is building smart. Its supply chain is diverse and resilient. Titanium from Kazakhstan, composites from Germany and Spain, avionics from Japan and France. It's designed to be immune to US-China tariff wars. It's fast, it's efficient, it delivers. Airbus is already integrating hydrogen-ready components, smart maintenance systems, and sustainable materials. The aircraft rolling off the lines in Toulouse today are designed to meet 2030's toughest regulations. This isn't reaction, it's vision. Once upon a time, Boeing defined the modern era of flight: the 747, the 777, the Dreamliner, icons of the jet age. But history doesn't fly planes. In 2025, success in aviation is defined by carbon metrics, delivery precision, and regulatory agility. Airlines aren't just buying aircraft, they're buying ecosystems, and Airbus has built the one they trust. It's not just winning orders, it's winning the future. Unless Boeing radically changes course, revamping its leadership, restoring trust, and reinventing its aircraft, it won't just fall behind, it will vanish from the skies.